Let's bring in ABC News Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z in Altadena. Gina, I was about to call you Dina. Ginger, what's the latest on the forecast here? The wind was a huge factor in these fires. Is it expected to get better?
So, Diane, I want to orient you just to let you know where I am. And in Altadena, this is the Eaton fire. And, you know, we've got from the vehicle burned out there back to this home, which is one of hundreds here that was burned. And that white picket fence that is so, you know, iconic, twisted and turned. I think the winds of, you know, Tuesday into Wednesday were the problem. We have the calmest winds we're going to have for some time this morning. So they're getting a big you know, air assault on a lot of these fires. We've seen firefighters on constant rotation, but we keep seeing spot fires pop up in the same areas. There was a magnet school right up the block that kept going up in flames. There have been firefighters there all day, or all morning. So yes, the winds are going to get worse tonight. And so let me take you through how this is all going to go. That low pressure system that was part of the problem is going to eject to the east and make for a big winter storm. Dallas, Little Rock, on over into Nashville and Atlanta. But the winds increase tonight from that high that sinks down and then sends those offshore winds in a more classic Santa Ana event. Not as bad as the one before, but you don't need much to make these fires really go. So from Malibu to San Fernando, Anaheim, all the same areas down to the Mexican border, we still have that critical fire danger. And some of the mountaintops you could see 60 to 70 mile per hour gusts. But look how light they are this morning in the single digits. What happens by the afternoon is they go up 20, 30, 40, and then by early morning tomorrow. And a lot of times you say, oh, you want dawn to be the time where you can fight, but that does not look like that. That's 3 a.m. Pacific time. They're still up above 30 in Los Angeles itself. So that's not going to be easy for the 6 wildfires that are burning currently. And if we get those winds this afternoon or tonight, they can even send embers and start new ones. So red flag warnings are in place through tomorrow night because of all these winds. You mentioned the air quality. Obviously, we haven't stopped wearing masks and respirators when I'm not on TV, but that smoke, even if you're nowhere close to the fire, is taking over Southern California. You can smell it everywhere. It is unhealthy anywhere you see red, and those pockets are going to move around today. One last thing, Diane, is we just got the new drought monitor in. To no surprise, Los Angeles now in severe drought. We're in serious deficit since October 1st, more than 4.5 inches below average, and unfortunately, there's not rain in the forecast.
And Ginger, what's the best way to protect yourself if you're in one of these air quality concern zones?
Inside is the best. If you have to drive around or you got to get somewhere, using that circulation in the vehicle so that the filter gives you something, but really not being outdoors. I mean, I'm wanting to limit my time. I can start to feel it in the chest, even with masks and respirators.
And Ginger, I want to let you go, but just quickly, you predicted a lot of what's happening now when you were looking at the forecast to come. How does it feel now being in the fire zone and seeing that?
Yeah, you know, unlike other storms, like hurricanes or tornadoes, our forecasts are great. So that part's similar, that we knew those winds were going to be 80 to 100 miles per hour. We knew they would be life-threatening. We knew they would take down power lines. The problem with fire is you don't know what power line is coming down, so you don't know where that fire is going to start. You don't know if there's going to be arson. And those things are the parts we're going to have to figure out, and that makes these types of events so much harder because you can know what the wind is going to do. You don't know exactly where it's going to be, unlike a hurricane where I can say, hey, from here to here, you're going to have storm surge of 12 feet. It is much harder to pinpoint in a wildfire.
Harder to predict and makes it harder to fight. All right, Ginger Z, we're going to let you get back inside. Thank you.